Hi there, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name's VinPF, and on today's episode we're going to be checking out some more Cotswolds. Now this one's their latest release, their Sauternes Cask, and it's worth mentioning at the top of the show, I was sent this bottle by Cotswolds, but it was actually an accident because they were only meant to send me a sample, which I didn't ask for, they offered it, and accidentally a full bottle was delivered at my door. I got in touch with them again and asked them if they wanted me to send it back, and they said no, it's fine, you keep it, because I've been a patron of theirs for a while now. And that's the reason why I have this bottle today. Now, it's actually the first bottle of Cotswolds that I haven't bought myself. I've bought nearly all of the bottles that I've covered so far. But as always, regardless of origin, my opinion isn't tainted in any way, shape or form. Of course, everyone who's watching this channel will know that I'm a big fan of the Cotswolds anyway. So I'm probably going to like it, but that's in no way inflicted by the fact that I received this from Cotswolds. Let's get into this one and see what we've actually got. It's Sauternes Cask. This is their latest release. It's going to be limited. It's in a new range, and as you can see, they've got a tin here instead of a box, which is pretty good, I think. There's actually, on the box, which I think you can see here, this one down here, where the way the label goes is a diagonal, and it actually dog-ears off a little bit. So I'm kind of glad that they've gone to this tube, because that won't happen anymore. I think this is going to be a more permanent staple. Or in fact, I think Dan said to me recently on a live stream that they're actually planning to print those diagonal stickers on instead of sticking them on. I digress. So this is the first of a limited series. They're going to do one a year. It's called the Hearts and Crafts series, something that Cotswolds is well known for. This design that's on the tin actually is a William Morris kind of wallpapery design. He was a famous designer. Wasn't from the Cotswolds, but he had some steadings there. So he's well known in the area for the arts and crafts movement. That's kind of what we're going for here. Back to the Sauternes thing. Now, Sauternes Whisky specifically, I'm not really that up on. Sauternes wine itself is a sweet wine. And I had to do a bit of Googling about it because I've never really actually tried any Sauternes wine. But it's kind of gross how they make it, actually. It's made from grapes that are kind of rotted a little bit. It's a very specific kind of rot, which I won't go into here, but you can look at that if you want to. A little bit weird how anyone would have decided to make some alcohol out of that, but, I guess waste not, want not, right? So this is a very expensive whiskey. It's the highest price that Cotswolds have asked so far, which is £75. And it isn't the first time that they've released at £75. I actually got a bottle, which you can't see, just out of shot down here, which was the World Whisky Forum. I did spend £75 on that in the end, which actually I'm not going to open and review. That's going for a swap. And you're also getting a decent ABV on this, which is 55.2. All very good, non-chill filtered, natural coloured. And we're not talking about a Sauternes finish here. We're talking about full-term maturation in French oak, which has previously held Sauternes wine. Breathe. Let's get on to the actual whiskey and see what we've got in the glass. We can talk about colour. It's got a lovely colour on it. We imagine this is probably going to be at least 3 years, but it's probably going to be some 4-year-old liquid in there as well. I'm not sure of the actual years. What we do have on the bottle is a batch number, which is 01-2020, which is the bottling date, of course. And there's 2,050 bottles in this batch. I don't think they're going to repeat this batch, so it's going to be worth noting at the top of the show that if you're interested in Cotswolds at all, you should probably get this as soon as possible, because once it's gone, it's going to be gone. So yeah, we were talking about the colour. It's got a lovely colour on it, really nice. That's going to be some good oak in there. Let's have a go on the nose and see what we've got. Obviously, it's a high ABV, 55 and a bit. So you should leave this out on the side. This has been out for about 15-20 minutes now. I'm still getting wafts of the alcohol in there. It's really lovely. I love that sort of thing. But if you're not into the higher ABVs, then just watch your nose when you're kind of nosing this for the first time. But it's got a really nice light and fruity characteristic, which is very characteristic of the Cotswolds style, in fact. That's what they're aiming for. They're not going to make anything kind of heavy-hitting peat or anything like that. That's not really what they're about. They're about that kind of light, fruity style. But on top of that usual Cotswolds, you've got some honey and a little bit of peach, which is interesting. I'm given to understand that that's kind of what you expect from a Sauternes cask, but I'll have to get into more Sauternes to really know that that's what is normal. Definitely get the peach on this. Let's try on the palate. It starts out really quite sweet, the honey. So, and then some kind of spice kicks in as well. It's kind of a peppery spice. Once that hits, you're getting the high ABVs. But then once that kind of peters off the other side of it, we're talking like kind of orangey, citrusy notes, and then more of that peach. I'll have another quick sip. Really tasty. Then on the finish, which is surprisingly long actually, medium long I'll categorise it as, but very peppery, very spicy, very warming. And then as it kind of disappears out the other end, it is very drying on the other end. Really nice and fruity though. I would say in general, obviously, I like this a lot. And I think it really depends on how much Cotswolds you've tried before, whether you want to be rushing out and getting this. Now, as I said, I've covered Cotswolds fairly recently, the Lord Mayor's Reserve, which is a little bit cheaper, but it's a very different whiskey. If you haven't tried any Cotswolds before, I don't think this is your entry point. It's exceptionally good. I don't think you'll be disappointed, but it's very high price. I think if you are new to Cotswolds, you want to be trying obviously the standard single malt whiskey, which is about £45 in the UK. Very reasonably priced, very good. But my favourite of the range still, even after having this, is the Founder's Choice, which is an exceptional whiskey. It was one of the best whiskies I tried last year. Bar none, I would say. It's pretty damn good. This sits fairly alongside with that, but with the price difference, the Founder's Choice is about £10 cheaper than this. That still wins. If this was around that same sort of price, I still think it would edge it just a little bit, but it would sit nicely alongside it. So yeah, digressing a little bit. If you've tried a lot of Cotswolds and you like Cotswolds, you know you like it, this is an absolute must-buy. It fits great with the rest of the range. It sits nicely next to all of them. If you're not into the Cotswolds and you want to try them, try something else before you get this, but it is a fantastic whiskey. It's definitely going to be a collector's item, I think, but not that I recommend this. If you do get a bottle of it, make sure you pop it and give it a try. It's pretty good in my eyes.